Hey super friends, my name is Neil and I'm here with a quick video to discuss the latest developments on the set of Warner Brothers and DC Films' Batgirl. Before we get started, why not hit the subscribe button so that you can make sure that you get to see when we have plenty of new video content available. Ding that bell, which means you can get notifications, and if you really like this video then give us a thumbs up and you can always make a comment. So Batgirl is now in production here in the UK. It's shooting up north, I don't know why I'm pointing up, in Glasgow. And yesterday we started out by getting our first look at Leslie Grace on set. Now she's not wearing the Batgirl costume, but chances are we may well get to see this very, very soon. So don't be surprised if either a set leak or an official video or photo of Grace in costume don't follow very soon. For now, we just have one shot, which is her stepping out onto the set, and she appears to be wearing a GCPD jumper. It's not a uniform, it's more like a kind of like gym wear version of GCPD uniform. But we know from the previous set photo from when production started that she is going to be working in the GCPD when we catch up with her in this film. So this just kind of confirms those details and confirms maybe her dedication to working with the GCPD, which, although it isn't a plot point necessarily from mainstream comics, we know that plenty of versions of young Barbara Gordon were an aspiring police detective and that it was her father who got in the way of that. So clearly some of that relationship is going to be seen here between Leslie Grace's Barbara and J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. There's not a lot else to tell from this. Her hair is tied up, so you can't really see how red it might be, or it could be that she's even wearing a wig in the film over the top of her natural hair, and this might just be her coming out onto set. So there's not a huge amount here for us to dig into. One of the next revelations came as more set photography came in from the streets of Glasgow, where they're currently setting up signage to make it Gotham City. Now we know that lots of businesses will have probably Glasgow telephone numbers, Glasgow addresses written on them, so it's normal for set designers to cover up shop fronts with Gotham themed imagery. And that can include putting posters out on the set as well, graffiti, all this kind of thing. And that's what we're seeing here with the Batgirl set. So first up, there was a picture of a kind of graphic mural, which has been spray painted over a number of posters. And one of those posters quite clearly states that it is for something relating to Black Canary. Now we know that Warner Brothers and HBO Max are developing a project based on Black Canary. That project is going to be directed and possibly written by Misha Green, who worked on Lovecraft Country and is set to write and direct the new Tomb Raider film. And that project will also see Jurnee Smollett return to play Dinah, Black Canary, as she did in the Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn movie. Now, just a poster isn't a huge deal. It could just be a small Easter egg, but the set photographers went and got us a little bit more while they were looking around down there in Glasgow, and they found some further posters which also say the name Black Canary and feature what appears to be a shot of Jurnee Smollett's face. Now, it's not a still taken from Birds of Prey or anywhere in that movie. She has shorter hair and she appears to be wearing a domino mask. So it looks like a slightly updated design for Black Canary. This could be a stage outfit because we're clearly alluding to the fact that she is a musician, as she was in Birds of Prey, and as she often is portrayed in the comics. But this is an exciting development because this means that, firstly, the Batgirl film is set in a world where not only is J.K. Simmons Commissioner Gordon, but Jurnee Smollett is also Black Canary. Now, obviously, if we tie things back as we go through the kind of DC Films universe, J.K. Simmons debuted as Commissioner Gordon in Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Justice League theatrical cut. Those cuts are tied to Batman vs Superman and the original Suicide Squad, which starred Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, who then returned in Birds of Prey, where Jurnee Smollett first appeared. So that does suggest that there is still some major connectivity here, at least between those films, and that in a post-Flash world, which is where, I say where this Batgirl film will be set, it might not be that Earth, but in terms of when we're going to see the Batgirl film, it will be in a post-Flash kind of landscape. So any changes that happen to the DC universe on film in that Flash movie should, in theory, if this is the same Earth, still be of consequence here. So we are suggesting that J.K. Simmons and Margot Robbie's characters that are part of that wider continuity, which also includes Gal Gadot and Jason Momoa and Ezra Miller, will be sharing this same landscape as Leslie Grace's Batgirl, and that maybe this means that this is the same Black Canary. She could show up here, or that her project, be it a film or a TV series that will be coming down the line, will also be part of this shared continuity. Which leads us to the biggest revelation of the day, which was the construction of another mural scene on set, which, when we first saw it, featured an image of Batman, quite a spectacular one I might add, and he happens to be stood next to none other than the boy wonder Robin. Now, Robin is someone whose costume we've only seen in the Batcave. We know that Zack Snyder had very much in his mind a plan that Dick Grayson had been killed by the Joker. That was something that was also alluded to in the original Suicide Squad, with the on-screen text that appears when Harley Quinn is introduced, saying she was complicit in the killing of Robin. So that is a fact that has been established elsewhere here, but obviously could be retconned by The Flash. Now, we're not going to put too much stock into the costumes that these two are wearing, because it does seem like what the designer of this piece of art has done is just use some stock imagery from the comics. What's important is, in terms of the Batman here, it's not Michael Keaton's Batman, but it's also not Ben Affleck's Batman. It is probably more reminiscent of a Keaton-style Batman, but it's not him directly, and likewise, it's not any specific type of Robin. It's a slightly adjusted version from a comic book image. But this does suggest, obviously, that Robin exists and is known in this universe as it stands at this point in this film. Again, it could mean absolutely nothing if it turns out that this is a different Earth, or we are looking at an Earth where, in a post-Flash kind of landscape, Robin did not die as he was appeared to have died in Batman vs Superman and that Justice League world. A couple of caveats here. Obviously, there are plenty of Robins. You don't need me to list all of their names right here. This might not be Dick Grayson's Robin, but given that this is a Barbara Gordon Batgirl film and the intricacy of her relationship with Dick in the comics, it's got, in my opinion, got to be Dick Grayson that we're seeing here. So could this be lining up for an appearance by him in this film? Could this just be a nod to the fact that they have a shared history? She could be Batgirl already when this film starts, and there could be flashbacks which tell her story, her origin story as it were, and that could include him. It's safe to say that there is going to be a presence felt here by Batman and Robin in some respect, and that could lead into where we want to go in the future. We know that Warner Brothers and DC wanted to develop a Nightwing movie in the past, and they've met actors to discuss with that role. We know that was slightly sidelined by the idea of what was happening in Snyder's universe. Perhaps Matt Reeves' universe doesn't quite lend itself to having a full Bat family, where we have a little bit more of a family-friendly version here in the kind of main DC universe, the Prime universe we'll call it. So this could be the beginnings of seeing that wider Bat family come to film, which is very, very exciting if you ask me. I can't wait to see what comes next. This was only day one of them filming in Glasgow. There is so much more to come, so keep your eyes peeled for more. Do you have any theories on what is happening in the Batgirl movie? If so, put them in the comments below and I will take a look and I will reply to them, and we'll probably pick this up in a future podcast. In the meantime, my name is Neil. You can find me on social media at NeilVag, and you can find us at Get Your Comic Con on all major platforms. Don't forget to tune in to our podcast. We release new episodes fortnightly-ish. Our current run, we're talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and The Matrix Resurrections. You can check that out now on all major platforms. Until next time, that's enough from me. Bye! Thanks for watching, Super Friends. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button just down below and hit the bell so that you can get notified whenever we release brand new videos. In fact, there's 2 more waiting for you to watch right here below. So what are you waiting for? Why not click play?